Hi, how is everyone today? I am so excited that you're here joining me on this adventure. I just wanted you all to know that the episode that we are working on today is how to heal from cult trauma, and this is episode 4. So, if you have not seen the other episodes, I encourage you to jump on those and just walk through this journey with us. It has been really transformational. I appreciate all of you all reaching out. If you have any questions or concerns, please go ahead and get in touch with me. You can just DM me below, and my number is also there, as well as my email contact information. And if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Galen. I go by Chef Galen. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist, dietary health coach, and I also have a couple books published on Amazon, as well as being a Reiki master. And what I love most about what I do with you all is energetically be able to connect with you all from all around the world. So I just did an interview earlier today with Dr. Manu, and she is out of India, and she has really the most transformational content. She's a writer as well, but the way that she's able to convey codependency is just blows my mind, and also to just the healing techniques that can happen immediately in your life from the moment you wake up to really make that shift in your life that you've been looking for, because we are not meant to go through this life just to survive, right? We're meant to be in this life to thrive. Okay, so codependency, what is it, and how does that interlock with being involved in a cult? So about 25 years ago, I was in a scenario where I thought I was making a right decision, and I drove all the way to the other side of the country to be part of this ministry that was going to take me global, and I was going to be able to do the work that I wanted to do in third world countries. And unfortunately, those leaders took advantage of the students. It's kind of like we always say, it's almost like a frog in a pot of boiling water. You don't really know what's happening until all of a sudden, all these crazy things are going on, and the vibration is really off, and you start feeling suicidal. I always say that is the point when you should get out of any relationship, okay? Whether it's a cult or a toxic relationship with a loved one that you feel like they love you, but you're just not on point, or whatever your situation is. Escape. There is help out there. You are not alone on your journey. That's why I do these globally all over the world, is because we want you to know that you are not alone. Okay, so in one of the books I wrote, Divinely Inspired Action, Reprogramming Your Subconscious Mind for a Great Purpose, the reason I wrote this in more of a workbook form is because nothing is more frustrating when you are going through a dark time and someone just says, well, just believe, just trust, or they're like, why don't you just pray more? Why don't you just journal more? Or just don't even think about that. Just do something else. Okay. And you're like, I'm trying. And then you start feeling like you're drowning your emotions. And then you start feeling shame because you don't know why you can't overcome these different issues that you've been dealing with. Now, most of the time it happens in childhood, okay? And a lot of us feel like, in order for it to be a childhood issue or scenario, we would have had to go through this extreme situation that you hear about people. But honestly, you can start grabbing a hold of codependent tendencies when you're a child, if it's just even, just feeling ignored by your parents, or you're not enough, or, just the level of the expectation is so much higher than what you are thinking for your own personal self, or even being compared to other siblings or other friends, family members, all of that. And that can really mess with your psyche too, and you can end up being in a place of just wanting to be a people pleaser, always putting yourself secondary, and never really embrace the calling that you have for your life, because all you're thinking about is living in a place of perfectionism and caring what other people think. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to surrender to that thought pattern, and we are going to let go. Okay, so today is a day of surrender. Today is day 5 on miracle work that I'm doing myself personally, and I have to say, so powerful. You all know that I love doing my meditation before the sun rises there on the water, and today was a good one. Today was a good one. Lots of journaling in this one. Okay, so if you are following along with me, the module that I have in this one, there's 12 modules, but what we're going to be talking about today and is, okay, and I have talked about this a lot, but I really feel like this goes along with codependency and how we end up in this space. And this is about taking responsibility and stop putting blame on others. It is so easy just to put blame on others, but when we do that and we don't learn to forgive them or ourselves in a process, then what it is we're giving our power over to someone else, and we don't want to do that, okay? Because you all are powerful, more powerful than you could ever know or imagine. So I want you to tap into that, and I want you to let go of playing that movie in your head of the torture that you had been going through, because energetically your spirit cannot know the difference between something that happened immediately, if you're feeling those emotions, than what you have felt years ago. Okay, so that's why it's so important to break out of that mindset so that you can live your best life and you can start your journey in healing. Okay, but once you go through that healing journey, then it's rebuilding yourself. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, so do you feel like a helpless victim of fate controlled by outside forces? So feeling like a victim is one of the main things. And you know, the outside world would be like, oh, of course you should feel that way. Like, of course, you know, you have every right to walk in that vibration. But what happens is if you stay in that victim mentality, then you never break through, okay? And you always stay stuck, and you can never realize as much love that you have in your life or finances. You never actually find that place of peace, all right? So really embracing peace equals letting go and forgiving and not putting blame and walking through that and knowing that you are stronger than the circumstance that was that you were in at that moment. Okay, so this is I talk a lot about the internal locus of control. This is the way that you feel. So a lot of times, you know, I talk about gut health and your intuition and all of that. So really trusting yourself again. And I feel like myself, along with the other members that were part of this cult that I was in, if I was to look back on it, I would say that we all had a heart to do something right. We wanted to do something good, okay? And that's what drew us to this kind of environment, right? Because we wanted to do mission work. We wanted to do the right things. But what often happens when you're in a situation like that, if the leaders do not stay in a place of humility, their ego gets in the way, and then they put themselves up on pedestals as though they are a god. And then what ends up happening is they want you to look up to them as the be all end all, okay, instead of trusting yourself in the process. And when you're trusting yourself in the process, especially when you think, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go, this is what I'm supposed to do, that is where the disconnect comes, because then you don't believe in yourself anymore. You're like, wait a minute, how did I end up over here? And all of a sudden it becomes all this destruction. And so learning to trust yourself again is the number one component that you need for your first step in healing, okay? And we can only heal as much as we're willing to let go and quit putting blame on others and really finding a place of forgiving and releasing so that we can walk into what the next step is for our own personal life, and trusting that what you went through brought you to where you are now, and being grateful for the journey that you're on. All right, I love you all so much. I will be back tomorrow with my next episode. If this resonates with you, I want you to know you're not alone. Contact me. We have a lot of support here for you, and you're not meant to do this life by yourself.